The RX is the most important model in the Lexus lineup, and it's one of the best-selling luxury vehicles, period. Late last year we went over the RX 350, and now today we will look at the hybrid version, the RX 450h. The version we have with us today is the fully loaded luxury model, but we will also cover all the other packages and options, including the F-Sport. So let's go ahead and check out the 2017 Lexus RX 450h. We would like to specially thank Lexus of Lexington for inviting us out to film this review. If you would like to check out their stunning dealership and extensive inventory of all the Lexus models, their physical address and website can be found in the video description. This is the standard Lexus key fob. Nothing really special about it, but there is some metal trim along the edge, so that's nice. Of course, smart key access is standard. Let's start by checking out the hybrid powertrain. Under the hood of the RX Hybrid is the latest version of Lexus Hybrid Drive. This system combines a lower output 3.5-liter V6 engine with 3 electric motors and a nickel hydride battery pack. It's pretty complicated, so I'm not going to go through all of the details. But to sum it up, each motor makes its own power rating, and then they all add up to 308 horsepower. That is actually a little higher than the standard RX 350. Compared to the standard model, this one trades in an 8-speed auto for a continuously variable transmission, with simulated gear changes. Power is put down via all 4 wheels, since all-wheel drive is now standard for 2017. Opting for the hybrid RX really pays off in fuel economy. It is rated at 31 city, 28 highway, 30 combined, which is quite a bit better than the 23 combined in the RX 350. It also beats the new Acura MDX Sport Hybrid, which is making its way to dealers soon. Now let's take a detailed exterior walkaround. So you've probably already noticed just how normal the 450h looks, and that's because there's almost no changes from the 350. The giant spindle grille is here in full force, making for a bold look. You can get the F-Sport package on the hybrid, and that makes the grille even more aggressive. The headlights are LED, with your LED daytime running lights, aka arrowhead, and LED turn signals. Triple beam headlights are also available, and LED fog lights are standard. Lexus lets the hybrid choose between the same wheel designs as the 350. That means that 18-inch alloys are standard, and these 20-inch split 5-spoke alloy wheels are part of the luxury package. There is one other optional wheel, which looks pretty similar to these, and then the F-Sport can be had with 20-inch dark super chrome wheels. The brakes are 12.9-inch ventilated disc in the front, and 13.1 inches in the rear. They do have regenerative technology to capture some of the braking energy and send it back to the car's battery pack. Most of the mirrors are body colored on the top, black on the bottom, and then chrome in the middle. Regardless, they are all heated, power adjusting, and the luxury package adds auto dimming. The blind spot monitoring system is standard equipment, and basically these indicators light up when someone enters into your blind spot. The RX is 192.5 inches long, which is a couple inches longer than vehicles like the Mercedes GLE, Cadillac XT5, or Lincoln MKX, but none of those are offered as hybrids. The nearest rivals I can think of are the Acura MDX Sport Hybrid and the Infiniti QX60 Hybrid, but both of those are several inches longer and offer a third row. Moving into safety, the RX is one of the safest vehicles out there, period. Even with the tougher 2017 criteria, the RX still manages to be a top safety pick plus, the highest possible rating from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Part of that is due to the Safety System Plus suite of active safety technologies, which are now standard on all models for 2017. The systems included are dynamic radar cruise control, intelligent high beam headlamps, lane departure alert with steering assist, and the pre-collision system with pedestrian detection. And that's in addition to the already standard blind spot monitoring with cross traffic alert. This is one area where the RX stands out from its rivals. You've got the floating roof design. The back is also pretty aggressive looking. Blue badges signify that this is the hybrid. The taillights are LED, but you have to get the triple beam headlights to make the whole unit fully LED. They do have a unique three-dimensional design. This is one area where there's more differences. The RX Hybrid can actually tow the same amount as the regular model, so long as it is equipped with the towing package. The rating is 3,500 pounds. You've got your rear spoiler with wiper underneath, and then your standard chrome roof rails. The 450h has a 17.2 gallon fuel tank, which is good for 516 miles of range. That's up significantly over the RX 350, even with its larger fuel tank. Lexus does require premium fuel for this model. That does it for the outside, so now let's check out the inside. The RX is arguably home to one of the best interiors in the class, mainly because of the luxurious design and high-quality materials. This RX has the gorgeous black interior, paired with a special sapele wood trim. That wood comes in the luxury package, and so does semi-aniline leather. The other colors you can choose between are parchment, stratus gray, or noble brown. On the F-Sport, the choices are gray, black, or even red. The door trim is equally opulent with the rest of the cabin. There's generous amounts of leather, including here on the armrest and up here. All four windows are fully automatic, and they've got the new chrome trim design. These 3-person memory seats are included on every RX Hybrid. The mirrors, seat, and steering wheel are included. There's also this expandable storage bin. The base seat is 10-way power adjusting, but our luxury package adds a few more goodies. They are 4-way power lumbar and power thigh extension. So this is the semi-aniline leather, which is part of the luxury package. All models do get real leather, but this stitching pattern is exclusive to the luxury. When you first get into the RX Hybrid, you'll feel yourself relaxing. Really, the entire mission of the RX's interior is to be supremely comfortable, quiet, and spacious, and that's definitely achieved here. The materials play a big part in that overall feel. Soft touch and stitched plastic cover all of the top parts. And then you've got some leather here, and padded leather to cover just about every other surface you could touch. Of course, the fit and finish is great too. Push button start is standard on the RX, complete with the blue button for the hybrid. This screen, however, is not standard. This is the huge 12.3 incher, but an 8-inch one is standard. Of course, since this is a hybrid, the engine doesn't necessarily fire up when you fully power on. Now it just powered on, and the transition was fairly smooth. There isn't really anything fancy going on with the gauges, but they are simple and elegant. The default is for the hybrid power gauge, but it does switch to attack when in sport mode. The multifunction display is 4.2 inches, and it includes all the stuff you expect, like navigation if we had it activated. Electric power steering is on every RX hybrid, and it's fed via this very nice leather and wood wrap steering wheel. On this side you've got your random assortment of buttons. These are for the display, and these are shortcuts for your lane departure alert and radar cruise control distance. Like I said, adaptive cruise control is standard equipment. Also, automatic wipers have become standard for 2017. The wheel is power adjusting as well. There are lots of buttons over here controlling everything from your auto high beams to your heated steering wheel. We also have a button to manually launch the 360-degree camera, which we will look at in a minute. Storage space inside the RX is impressive. The center console is pretty darn deep, and it's got a luxurious felt lining. There's also 2 USBs, an aux jack, and a 12-volt outlet. This little thing actually pops up, and you might be able to fit in some sunglasses, or the key fob. And there's another area up here with a 12-volt outlet. So overall, pretty good. Shifting is done via this leather and satin aluminum shift knob. And like I mentioned, you can actually shift manually, but the gear changes are merely simulated. A gear indicator shows up on the screen. Now we're in reverse, so you can see the standard backup camera, which is high resolution. You have dynamic trajectory, and we also added the optional 360-degree camera. There are several views you can choose from if, for say, you need a bigger rear camera. Also, the mirrors tilt down to give you a better look at the parking lines, so there's no excuse for you to park this vehicle poorly. Up here you've got an electronic parking brake, which has an automatic function, and then your brake hold feature. This, when pushed, can keep your car still at red lights, for example, without having to hold down the brake pedal. This knob controls your different drive modes. But more likely than going into sport, you will probably activate EV mode, which locks the vehicle into battery power until it is depleted. The other buttons up here control your 3-stage heated and ventilated front seats. That's surprisingly standard on every RX hybrid. They also have an automatic function, just like the climate control. And speaking of the climate control, it is a dual zone setup with a very simple layout. All the same functions can be accessed through this screen if you prefer, but it's at least 10 times harder in my opinion. Now let's take a listen to the audio system. This is the standard one with 12 speakers. A 15-speaker Mark Levinson audio system is available. You have real metal volume and tune knobs, and pretty much all of the other audio functions are located here. And you've got a classy analog clock. Let's take a look at the Lexus Inform system. Now keep in mind that we have the big 12.3-inch display and integrated navigation, and not all RXs will be like this. The Inform system has a premium look to it, and the layout is easy to understand, much more so than some of the rivals. When you opt for the 12.3-inch screen, Lexus doesn't just supersize everything, they instead give you a handy secondary screen. Pretty much anything can be pulled up over here, so it's particularly useful when navigating so you can see the map and something else. Moving into that, a destination can be set any number of ways, including by points of interest. The map is high-res, and moving around is simple. This button expands the map to take up the entire screen, which looks particularly impressive. Since we don't have the touchpad controller on the RX, pinch to zoom cannot happen. Next, let's look at the phone. You have a list of synced contacts from your smartphone, and you can scroll or search by letter to find them. When you option on navigation, you also get the Lexus App Suite. This is where you'll find several apps like Pandora, iHeartRadio, and AHA. It's not working since I don't have the Inform app installed on my phone. By the way, there is no Android Auto or Apple CarPlay yet. Finally, in Info, you'll find some cool stuff like weather and traffic information, which Lexus does provide free for life. So that's all we're going to cover today, but we do have a separate tech help video going over each and every detail, including the extensive settings section. A link to that video is provided in the description. This frameless glass auto-dimming rearview mirror is standard on the RX Hybrid. HomeLink garage door openers are on the bottom. The lighting is touch sensitive. This SOS button will automatically notify emergency services if the airbags deploy, and that's free for 1 year. The $500 upgrade for the panoramic moonroof is well worth it. A regular sized one is standard, but this one really opens up the cabin since it's so big. The front glass opens just by sliding over top the rear. And you've got a wind deflector. Even though I've reviewed this generation RX 3 times, I always leave impressed. And that's because this interior is well made, genuinely luxurious, and it does exactly what it sets out to do. Well done. The seat and steering wheel scoot back to help with easier entry and exit. Now I'll turn it over to my brother, who will show you the rest. The door trim materials from the front follow through into the back, with tons of stitched leather and wood trim. Our model, since it's the luxury, gets these rear window sunshades standard. It is fully automatic. In the back of the RX 450h, you have 38 inches of legroom and 38.2 inches of headroom. So that makes it on par with the Lincoln MKX and Mercedes GLE, but quite a bit larger than the 3-row Acura MDX. In the center, every model finds these vents, but you don't get your own controls. You do get a 12-volt outlet, but strangely enough, no heated rear seats or USBs. There's a nice center armrest with a little storage area and some pop-out cup holders. The headliner is typical Lexus, soft and premium, and I'm a big fan of this panoramic moonroof. Here's your assist grip and coat hook. I have tons of space behind my brother's seating position, and my feet can even slide underneath the seat. Over here, the seats are all the way back, and I still have plenty of room, plus some knee cutouts. So just like the front, the RX's rear seat is some of the best in the business. I would like for some more features to be present, but the overall comfort makes up for it. Heading back to the trunk, you have a power tailgate on all models. We also have the hands-free feature, which allows you to put your hand up to the Lexus badge to raise it. It doesn't work too well, so I'll just open it normally. After one of the slowest tailgates ever raises, you'll find 18 cubic feet of space behind the second row and 55.9 cubic feet for a maximum. Definitely not one of the biggest in the class, but it would be fine for most everybody. Also, back here you get some connections and a light plus a cargo cover. Folding the rear seats is done easily through these two levers. The passenger seat is actually identical to the driver's, which means our luxury also gets 4-way lumbar and thigh extension. The dash is all soft touch. The glove box is surprisingly large, dampened, and nicely felt lined. I also really like how the leather is over by your knees, even on the passenger side. Well guys, we hope you enjoyed this detailed, in-depth look at the 2017 Lexus RX 450h Luxury. Please stay tuned for the specific pricing information regarding this RX, as well as the rest of the 450h lineup. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and come along with us next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.